You are looking at, it says find the number that each expression equals. You may use the diagram below to help you. Boys and girls, go ahead and draw a box around these stars. This box is the same thing as drawing a what? Tape diagram. Same thing as drawing a tape diagram. How many whole stars is it telling us we have? 24. Go ahead and count them just in case you don't believe it. Okay, we believe it's 24 stars? Perfect. If we look at all our fractions, how many times are we dividing this box? 3 times. Well, boys and girls, how many lines are there? So instead of making this difficult, I can just draw a line between each line, right? Do I have 3 groups? What fraction is this first group worth? 1/3. What fraction is this next group worth?
1/3.
And what fraction is the last group worth?
1/3.
So 1/3 of 24 is what?
8.
Count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, do not tell me 2/3 of 24 is 8, because it wants to know 1/3 plus 1/3. So this box plus this box. Do I want y'all shouting the answers while I'm trying to talk? How much is 2/3 of 24, Nisha? 16. Thank you for raising your hand. I appreciate it so much. How much is 3/3? Think about that. 3/3 is a whole. So it wants to know how much is the whole thing. So what is it? 24. Now this is where y'all are going to freak out. Be like, oh my goodness, I don't know. 4/3 of 24. Boys and girls, draw another line of stars. How many needs to be in that line? 8. If you can't draw a star, draw that. An X, a line, and a line. An X and a plus sign on top of each other. So if this is 1/3, this line is 1/3. This line is 2/3. This line is... Then this last line that we just drew is 4/3. So how much is 4/3 of 24, Emma? 32. Do we agree?
Yeah.
I hope so. I sure hope so. Okay. Now, this next one, we have not done one like this, which is why I want you to pay attention. It says exactly 1/3 of the socks in the drawer are green, right? Which 2 statements? So how many do you have to circle? 2. Do you have to circle 1?
No.
You have to circle
2.
What about 3?
No.
4?
No.
5?
No.
2?
Yes.
Okay. So which 2 statements about the socks in the drawer can be true? So we said we want to know how much? 1/3 of them. Well, boys and girls, let's write these as fractions. It says there are 2 green socks in the drawer of 6 socks. How would you write 2 and 6 as a fraction? 2 over 6. Can you reduce that fraction and make it smaller?
Yeah.
What would you make it?
1/3.
So far, do we have one that's true? Yes. What is it? A. I want you to find the other one. There's one other one. I want you to find the other one. Put them as fractions and find the other one. So if that one was 2/6, this next one would be 10/40. The next one would be 42. The next one is 6/18, and the next one is 32/40. So it sounds like you have to reduce some fractions, do some reduction, and see which other one equals 1/3. Colt, what did you get?
I got D.
Did everybody else get D? Good, because look, 6/18. What can both 6 and 18 be divided by? There's something smaller. 6. 6 divided by 6 is 1, and 18 divided by 6 is, so they both equal 1/3. What would 10/40 have reduced to? 1/4. Look, do they both have a 0? Could you have canceled out those zeros and had 1/4? Okay, so is that one an answer? No. Is 42 an answer? No. So we know B and C are automatically out. Well, if we look at E, what does both 32 and 40 divide by? 8. Very good. 32 divided by 8 is 4. 40 divided by 8 is 5. So is that the same thing as 1/3? No. So A and D are our what? Answers. They sure are. Okay, so number 3. It wants us to write this equation just a different way. So we know 2/5 times 6. How could we write this? What else did we say this is equivalent to? What would be on top? And without making it a fraction, what would we have? 2. Nope, not 2 times 5. 2 times 6. Look, it's literally telling us 2 times 6. 2 times 6. And then what do we need to divide by? 5. Now, boys and girls, if you're not paying attention and you circle A as your answer, you're wrong. Why is A wrong? Raise your hand and tell me why A is wrong. Why is A wrong, Colt?
Because it is instead of 2 times 6 divided by 5, it is 2 times 5 divided by 6.
Is that what we want? No, we don't want that. So A is not it. Okay? Then it says 2 divided by 6 times 5. Is that what we have? No, that's not what we have. We haven't divided by 2. And we're not dividing by 6 either. Okay? This next one, 2 times 6 divided by 5. Does that look familiar? Yes. So what's our answer? C. Sure is. Any questions? Okay. Now remember, it can come like this, 2/5 times 6, or it could come like this. Isn't that the same thing? We just put times 6 on the other side. Still saying 6 times 2, correct? And it's still dividing by 5, correct? So don't get that confused. Let's do number 4. Sean collected 10 cans for recycling. 2/3 of the cans were Coke cans. If he collected a total of 60 cans, how many were Coke cans? How many did he collect total?
10.
Huh?
60.
Where did you get 10? How many did he collect total? 60. And there's only one fraction in this problem. What is it? 2/3. So what is our equation? 2/3 times 60. I need you to pull your mask up. Go ahead and finish this problem for me. Give everybody just a minute. You got the answer, Emma? Huh? Hurry. Normally we don't sharpen pencils in the middle of math. I'm liking all the pink you're rocking today. Okay, what would go on top? 2 times 60. And what goes on bottom? 3. I want you to write this equation somewhere else. How else would you write this?
2 times 60 divided by 3.
Beautiful. I'm so proud of y'all for knowing that. Now, is there something that we can divide both 60 and 3 by? What is it? 3. You're telling me you can divide 3 by 20? No. Okay, so 60 divided by 3 is what? 20. And 3 divided by 3 is 1. So now what do we have on top? 2 times 20 over 1. 2 times 20 is 40 over 1. And 40 over 1 is the same thing as 40. Did we all get 40?
Yes.
Good. I'm so proud of you. Okay. Once you've got this, I want you to flip to the next page. I'm going to do problem 5 with you, and then I'm going to let y'all loose. Okay, so it says use 2 different methods. Use how many? 2. How many boxes did they give you? 2. So how many do you have to fill in? 2. Are you supposed to do the same thing in both boxes? No, you're not. So I really hope you're paying attention, Trayvon. Okay, in this first box, now it's giving you the equation and the answer, correct? But it wants us to show 2 different ways of solving that, correct? Okay, so they both, go ahead and draw in both boxes, 3/5 times 30. Currently, I'm not worried about the answer. It's given us the answer already, but it wants us to show 2 different ways of solving it. Jacorian mask. Okay, now this first way is the way y'all like it the most. What would go on top? 3 times 30 over 5. That's the first way. The second way, it wants you to break 30 apart, okay? We would have 3 times what equals 30? You could do 3 times 10. What else could you do? 5 times 6. So write 3 times 5 times 6 over what? 5. Now, the reason I didn't do 3 times 10 is because 5 times 6 gives me something that I can do what with? Mark. Out. What can I mark out?
5.
Mark it out. So now what am I left with? Which equals? 3 times 6 equals 18. So we've gotten our second way. Our first way. What can I divide, Kaden? Get out of your backpack. What can I divide both 30 and 5 by? 5. So 30 divided by 5 is 6. And 5 divided by 5 is?
1.
So 3 times 6 over 1 is?
18.
18 over 1, which is the same thing as?
18.
Did we get the same answer?
Yeah.
Did we use 2 different ways of solving?
Yeah.
Okay.